Hi guys, Reagan here for Planet Pathlings. I'm your Friday host, and this week we are covering the elements, and the element I'm covering is air. So I have a quick paragraph to read you, and then we'll go into some correspondences, and I'll give you a little glimpse at some of the things that I use in my practice to represent air. Air rules the mind, clarity, discernment, wisdom, knowledge, abstract thinking, logic, the spoken word, the wind, breath, intellect, and theory. It is creative and is that which causes magical intentions to become manifest. It is also associated with higher consciousness and wisdom, divination and purification, mental and psychic work, intuition, clouds, inspiration, hearing, herbal knowledge, plant growth, freedom, revealing truth, finding lost things, instruction, telepathy, memory, learning the secrets of the dead, Zen meditation, new beginnings, and illuminations. Air is a very powerful element, as all of the major elements are, but it is definitely one that we cannot be, it is one of the essentials. Without air, we don't have the breath in our lungs, and we can't live without that. So it's very important to, when I can go through a list of correspondences, actually I'll do so. Time of day is dawn. Season is spring, colors all light hues, colors found at dawn, white, yellow, light blue, lavender, gray. Zodiac is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Tools, the athame, sword, incense, smudger. It's the third eye chakra. Virtues are intelligence, practicality, and optimism. The alignment is masculine, direction is east. Another tool is the wand. It's a feeling of freedom. Types of magic that you generally focus on using air with are divination, concentration, karma, prophecy, visualization, and wind magic. Energy is very projective. So, and I can go on. Plants, frankincense, lavender, lemongrass, pine, vervain. Animals, eagles, hawks, butterflies, dragonflies, spiders. I mean, you could write a novel on just all the different things that are listed as correspondences for air. And it's a very powerful element. I will say, though, that when it comes to correspondences and what you use in your own personal practice, it's very important that you use what rings true to you. Because, like, for me, I can go and I can get like a specific colored like candle and place it on my altar to represent a certain element or direction or whatever. But if that's not what rings true in my mind, then that's completely pointless, because it's not, if I look at it and I don't see it as being for that direction or for that specific element, then it's lost on me, and silly things represent, like I have a turtle, and I think turtle is earth, traditionally speaking, but my turtle represents air for me because it has the freedom of going wherever it wants to go because it carries its house on its back. Now, this is my own thing I've got going on in my head, but that's what works for me personally. So I think that's very important when you're a solitary practitioner, especially, and if you're eclectic and you're not following somebody else's specific tradition or path, is to really go above and beyond to make sure that you're honing yourself in on things that work for you, And I don't mean, oh, you must go out and buy the most expensive thing that's going to really just, no. Go out in nature and, gather leaves to represent air because they're in the trees and the wind blows them around, I mean, basic things, but that the correspondences actually ring true for you. It's not how much you pay for the tools, it's what they represent to you. So that's like my biggest bit of advice, to newcomers to the craft, or people that are not quite sure of themselves, is it's like, no, if the intent is there and the energy is in the right place, and whatever you need to do to get that energy in the right place, do it. So, and so personally, I have a yellow candle. I use an athame. My incense represents air. I have a butterfly I keep in my altar that represents air. And yes, my turtle friend, even though he's not for air, for me he's for air. And that's what I encompass into my practice. I also have a couple of winged gargoyles that represent the air element for me as well. And I always keep large quantities of lavender because lavender, a bird feather, and it doesn't have to be something fancy. It doesn't have to be, it can be something that you found in the park, or craft store feathers hot glued together to make a simple, smudger for your sage or your incense. These are the things that you can use. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be over the top. Another thing that represents air is a bell, the sound, because air, sound waves travel through the air, and that's how they get to our ears. So musical instruments would be like woodwinds or a flute. And like I said, a bell would definitely be an air thing as well. So, don't focus on what you're doing wrong. Focus on what you're doing right. And, if your intention is in the right place, if you're taking the time and you're grounding yourself and you're focusing, don't get caught up in somebody else's ways. Especially if you're, like I said, if you're following somebody else's path, by all means, do what you can to work it into doing things the proper way. But if you're eclectic and you're practicing solitary, do what works for you. Don't be afraid to give things a shot, and don't, step out of your comfort zone a little bit, it'll be fine. But yeah, the air element is very powerful and very useful, especially when it comes to like divination. So if you're really into like reading tarot or whatever, I would say, to make sure and focus a lot on representing air. Like I always burn incense when I'm reading tarot, so that I have that element present while I'm reading, for the extra help. And I also make sure to represent earth to keep myself grounded, and I do a grounding exercise, because otherwise, because I'm an air sign, I just get all out there. I'm ranty and rambly by nature. So yeah, just keep those things in mind, and hopefully I gave you some kind of information that's helpful. Hopefully. I will add some links in the description below to some websites and stuff that have different information on the different elements and air. And also, please check out, there's 5 of us hosting now, Monday through Friday, so please be sure to go back and check out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday's posters, and check out their videos as well here on Planet Pathlings. And stay tuned for next week. We'll have our new topic will be announced on Monday, and we'll be going over that. And we'll also be doing a recap sometime between now and then of this week's topic. So stay tuned for all of that, and please be sure, if you enjoyed this, to like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and don't forget to check out our other hosts here on this channel. And this is Reagan. I will talk to you next time. Bye.